Hello everyone and welcome to WMG Talks. My name is Phil and it is a pleasure to actually have people back in a room again after 2 years. I thought you might be wondering what actually is WMG Talks. It's a series of 10-minute presentations that are given by our academics. Now they're used to going out and speaking at conferences and sharing their work with other academics and other researchers, but for these talks we want to get them to share their stories with the public. It's about sharing the person behind the research and about sharing it in an accessible way. So we put people up on a stage and we just get them to talk about their story. How did they get here and what are they working on? What are they researching? Now we think this is really important and it's because we all share one planet. Engineers and scientists one day might find planet B and get us a way to get there, but at the moment we all share this planet and it is the only one. So we have some problems. We have things like climate change or running out of materials, scarcity, child labour, manufacturing crises, supply chain issues, all of these things, cybersecurity threats. We have a lot of problems. We need to come together to work on those problems and find solutions that work for everybody around the globe. Because if we have a solution that only works if you live in this postcode, this country, this continent, it's not going to work for everybody. If we make these solutions, we need to convince people that they are good and trustworthy. You're not going to get into an electric car if you are convinced that it's going to be terrible. So we need to tell people they're not terrible, they're perfectly safe, they're convenient, they're fun to drive. We need to convince people that the researchers working on battery technology are trustworthy. They're just everyday people. We need to show people that engineers come from all different backgrounds and have all different skill sets, and it is a job and a career for everybody. And we're going to solve those global challenges. So a lot of you may be thinking, what does an engineer look like? And you might have this vision in your head. I'm sure some of you will recognize the person on the, on the left of the screen as you look at it. That is, of course, Isambard Kingdom Brunel, a very fun name to say. And he's filthy, his trousers are covered in muck, and he's standing in front of these great big chains and all of that kind of stuff. That's probably what a lot of kids imagine an engineer looks like. But if you ask those same kids, and in fact I'll ask you guys, what would you rather have in the world, Wi-Fi or bridges? Hands up for Wi-Fi. Yeah, okay, hands up for bridges. It's a pretty split vote, but we've got mostly in favour of Wi-Fi, I would say. So the person in the middle there is a former Bond girl, it's Hedy Lamarr. She invented a lot of the technology that went on for encrypting wireless communications that we now need for Wi-Fi. So a lot of these roles that we think of for engineers, maybe they're not as dirty and coal-filled and all of that black grime and needing a bath in benzene at the end of your shift. It's not like that. You'll be working with bright, shiny technology. We will have all different kinds of engineers, product design and technicians and the staff working on these nice bits of kit using a computer, predictive modeling before we even get into using real equipment. So there's a lot of different skill sets and a lot of different people. So in WMG Talks over the years, we've covered a lot of different subjects. You can go and find all of them. They're freely available on the internet, all the way from what a battery actually is to what difference they've made in the world, taking you on a journey through that battery's life into an electric car and beyond, finding out what happens when they get to the end of their life and what we have to do with them to make them safe. But we've also talked about what the future of those cars might be like in terms of, will you be driving one? If you're sitting at home right now and you're maybe 10 years old, will you ever actually drive a car? Because by the time you're old enough, we might have self-driving cars. Do any of you get motion sickness? No, very lucky, all of you in the room. Some of you might get motion sickness, and when you get in one of those cars, we want to make sure that it works for you. That self-driving car is also something that makes people happy and healthy. We're also looking at advanced manufacturing, the materials that we use to build the world, whether we can make them in new ways or find new materials. Maybe we can 3D print body parts. There's a lot of different things that we have covered. We're trying to bring all of these solutions together for this blue sky thinking, for a bright green future that is going to work for everybody. We need to use less materials in a better way, make things last longer, make things more recyclable. We need to make sure we're building them out of sustainable materials that we can use time and time again. And we need to make sure all of these solutions contribute to building a nice, bright, green future. So that is our aim. We want to get into that future. We need to get from now, where we are now, into that future. We have some engineers here with us today, and you'll hear from lots of them in the videos on the website. But they are not enough. We need more engineers from all over the world, from all different skill sets, from all different backgrounds, to come and work on these challenges to get us through this maze of roads into the future. So that is my call to action. Watch these videos. Over the next 10 minutes, then watch another one, the next 10 minutes again and again and again. Learn something from each of these speakers. Consider going out and becoming an engineer yourself. Help us fight these global challenges. And maybe we can build that green future after all. Thank you.